Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching The Big Bang Theory. This is the 15th episode of the second season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So last episode, Sheldon was a good friend. He actually was. He wasn't selfish. It wasn't all about him. And I was really impressed with his character, honestly. I really, really was. So Penny, you know, she was going through a tough time. She was struggling. She was basically saying that she can't really pay her rent. She's not got much shifts at the Cheesecake Factory. She's not had much success being an actress. And, you know, this isn't the plan. This isn't what she expected when she come to the city. You know, she thought that she'd waitress for a few months and then be a full-time actor, or, you know, be in movies or be in TV shows and not really struggling in a small-time job. Now Sheldon's like, look mate, don't worry, I've got a bit of money lying around, you know, don't really need all of it. You can borrow some and pay your bills, and then you know, when you get paid, pay me back. And you know, she was reluctant and hesitant at first to take some money, but she actually took it. And then you could see all episode, it was kind of getting to her. It was annoying her. It was aggravating her. You know, she felt in situations where people was buying things, or like she was receiving packages in the post that like she felt obliged and awkward, you know, to pay back, considering she's borrowed money and she's receiving things. But like Sheldon's like, nah, there's no dramas, mate, honestly. And even Leonard said, you know, considering that Sheldon's the type of person that he is one of the things that makes him great, to be honest, because he doesn't actually chase it up and he's not really too bothered how long it takes you to pay him back. Now, Leonard learned that she had, you know, she had a few outstanding pennies owed to herself, to be honest. She spent $1,800 on Kurt, basically paying penalties and fines for him, because he didn't have the money, and he decided, you know what? She's having to borrow money to pay, you know, her own bills, and she's helped somebody else pay their bills. It's time for them to repay them back. So he's gone, he's asked him to give him the money. Basically, he said no. He's got a pen. He's wrote, I owe Penny $1,800 onto Leonard's head. But the next day, he must have got a bit of moral, you know, like moral guilt on him, and he's actually gone and he's give Penny her money back. Now she thinks, oh yeah, Kurt's changed, he's a great man, yes, and all this and that, and she's gonna take him on another date. But she actually took the money and brought it back to Sheldon and paid him off, which I thought was great as well. Both of them. It's nothing worse than lending money out and having to chase it, and it's always great when somebody gives it back without asking. It really, really is. So both of them was decent in the episode. Leonard didn't actually express that he was the one that made or went to Kurt and asked him to give the money back, and Sheldon praised him for that. Like, not all heroes, you know, are known to the public technically, and I would have said it anyway. If I was Leonard, I would have said it, because I hate Kurt if I was him, and I wouldn't want Penny to go out on dates with him, considering that, you know, it was me the one that actually asked him to bring the money back. But it'd be interesting to see if that was the end of Kurt, in terms of we don't get no progression forward in today's episode. But I do also like the hint that maybe it'd be a good idea for Penny to get a roommate, because I actually really do think it is, now it's been said. So we'll see what happens with that one as well. Thanks for checking it out. If you do enjoy today's episode, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Like I did that day. Take me to the place I love.
Fellas, please.
Honey, come on. We were just finding our sound.
Of course, but you understand my trepidation.
What's that about?
Not a clue.
Can't we just postpone it till the spring? Sure. I guess there's no other choice but to just go ahead and do it.
He's referring to an activity he has done before. It's unpleasant and needs to be repeated. This suggests some sort of invasive medical test, like perhaps a colonoscopy.
My mother's coming to visit.
He was way off.
How about that? You were right.
It's out of order.
Yes, I can read the sign. I'm just pondering the implications.
That's Leonard's mum.
The sign and the tape are covered with a layer of dust, which indicates that the elevator has been non-functional for a significant amount of time, which...
You must be Leonard's mother.
Oh, I don't know if I must be, but yes.
You come with me, I'll walk you to the apartment.
Oh, all right. Would you like to exchange pleasantries on the way?
She should be Sheldon's
All right,
mum.
you start.
She's like Sheldon's mum.
Okay, you know, I've always been curious. What was Leonard like when he was little?
Oh, I think you mean young. He's always been little.
Okay, like 5 or 6.
Well, at that age, he was well enmeshed in what Freud would call the phallic stage of psychosexual development. An outmoded theory, of course, but the boy did spend most of his waking hours with a tight grasp on his penis.
I'm an actress.
Well, there are studies that suggest that many who go into the performing arts suffer from an external locus of identity. Means you value yourself only as others value you, which is often the result of unmet childhood emotional needs.
I had a wonderful childhood.
Tell me about it.
I tried being good at sports, but I hated getting dirty. Called me slugger until I got my first training bra, and then he just stopped playing catch with me. I wasn't slugger anymore.
If you want to have intercourse with that girl, find out what kind of cologne her father wore.
See, that's why I always say, me, like, if I would never want to date, like, a therapist, because basically everything that you do, it's always going to be observed, and it's always going to be made out to be something that it's not. Like, sometimes you just do things, you know. I've watched shows before here as well, and they're like, mate, what was we watching? We was watching Prison Break, and obviously there was this being recorded, and he was here, and he was talking directly to the camera, and like they threw a few little things in, so like they was looking up into the sky, and obviously he was touching the face and the nose a bit, and he was saying, yo, those are general signs of, like, I don't know, like lying or you know, distress, or they're trying to throw us off. And it's like, no, sometimes, you know, I'm talking, just get an itchy nose, or like they say, oh yeah, people crossing the legs, they're trying to restrain from holding something in, do you know what I mean? They don't worry. So it's like, no, not really. Sometimes I might sit down and my legs crossed, sometimes not. You know, there's literally nothing to it. Oh yeah, but like people who cross their arms, like they're trying to withhold him. Not really. I just feel like it might be a bit comfortable like this instead of me having my arms dangling. Do you know what I mean? Like some people just overanalyze everything, and I feel like if you was with a therapist, that's what they would do, especially in an argument. Imagine going out with a therapist and being in an argument with them. They would literally do you. They'd make it worse. Honestly, they really would. Overanalyzing all of it.
Yes.
Loose, not bagged?
Yes.
Steeped 3 minutes?
Yes.
2% milk?
Yes.
Warmed separately?
Yes.
1 teaspoon sugar?
Yes.
Raw sugar?
Yes.
It's cold.
Literally, she should be his
My
mum.
theory is that his lack of focus stems from an overdeveloped sex drive.
I don't know where he would have gotten that. Aside from a pro forma consummation of our marriage, his father and I only had intercourse for the purposes of reproduction.
I would very much like to read about your sex life.
It's all online, or you can order it from the Princeton University Press.
It's new.
You'll have to be more specific.
It's new with you.
Oh, well, I've been having some fascinating menopausal symptoms recently.
Maybe something less personal.
Your Uncle Floyd died.
Oh my God, what happened?
His heart stopped beating.
What a remarkable woman. Your mother is brilliant, analytical, insightful, and I'm betting she never hit you with a Bible because you wouldn't eat your Brussels sprouts. We're lucky. Yeah, when I was a kid, if I wanted an EEG, I had to attach my own electrodes.
Leonard rarely talks about his incredibly successful brother, and understand that unlike Leonard, they're at the top of their respective field.
Boy, you suck.
Leonard's younger brother, Michael, is a tenured law professor at Harvard, and his sister just successfully grew a human pancreas and an adolescent gibbon.
Wow, you must be very proud.
Why? They're not my accomplishments.
I had no idea your siblings were so much more successful than you.
Yeah, you're like the Jar Jar Binks of the Hofstadter family.
Next time, don't use to bring Mama to work, okay? That was fast.
Oh, the middle stall was occupied. I'll have to try again later.
It's totally understandable. In bladder voiding, as in real estate, it's location, location, location.
Mutism is quite rare. On the other hand, an adult Jewish male living with his mother is so common it borders on sociological cliche. It might explain why the two of you have created an ersatz homosexual marriage to satisfy your need for intimacy.
Say what? That's basically what I just said.
But it's 1 o'clock. You were going to show me your laboratory at 1 o'clock.
Her reasoning is unassailable. It is 1 o'clock.
Fine.
For the record, we're not in an ersatz homosexual relationship.
Well, then why didn't you say that to her?
Why is it always my responsibility?
Oh, it's not always your responsibility. I swear, this is the same thing you did at the comic book store last week.
You went to the comic book store without me.
That's what he picked up on that.
Mother likes looking at brains, and Sheldon likes getting his brain scanned.
Jeez, what a fun couple.
She's only been here a day and a half, and I'm seriously considering alcoholism as a new career path.
I was right, you know. The locus of my identity is totally exterior to me.
Oh, yeah, there she is. Hi, Mom. Did you get the part?
No, they said I was too perky.
You want to talk about not getting love from a parent? You know what I used to do when I was little to have some sensation of human contact?
Yeah, you grabbed your penis and wouldn't let go.
It's not what I was going to say. When I was 10 years old, I built a hugging machine.
That is
A
pretty...
hugging machine?
Yeah,
I
mate,
got
that's pretty
a
sad.
dressmaker's mannequin. I stuffed it with an electric blanket so it would be warm, and I built 2 radio-controlled arms that would hug me and pat my back.
And data will be very helpful to my research. You have a remarkable brain.
I know. I'd love to see a scan of your brain sometime.
Oh, I'll send you a link, but its physiology is fairly unimpressive.
Can I make you a cup of tea?
I doubt it, but if anyone has a chance, it's probably you.
What are the odds that 2 individuals as unique as ourselves would be connected by someone as comparatively workaday as your son?
Is that a rhetorical point, or would you like to do the math?
I'd like to do the math.
I'd like that too.
Now this time, you're gonna lick the salt off my neck, do the shot, whoop, and then bite the lime.
I do like these two together.
After a lick.
Okay, shot lime.
Right. Ah, where's the lime?
In the mouth.
Okay, we're sharing.
That was decent.
I'm very tempted. I'm just not sure it's appropriate with my son's roommate. Certainly something I could never do with my husband.
I was hesitant the first time I tried it, but I experienced an unanticipated and remarkable release of endorphins.
You're appealing to the neuroscientific researcher in me.
You see right through me, don't you?
Only when you're in a CAT scanner.
Literally, it's all the same.
You know what my mother would say about this? She would say, because you were not loved by your father, and I was not loved by my mother, that having sex is our way of making up for the intimacy we didn't get as children.
Why would you bring that up right now? You're not having sex with me, you're having sex with your mother?
I'm gonna go with no. Come on, you're trying to have sex with your father, and I'm okay with that.
Mate, he absolutely ruined that. Like, what was he playing at?
Said shush, I should have shushed.
I actually like them
All right,
too.
Mother, have a nice flight.
That's not really in my control, is it?
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
I mean, my mom could have just said, Bob, get over it, she's a girl, move on.
Would you be willing to fly to New Jersey and discuss your relationship with your parents during a brain scan?
Would it help?
Well, it would help me.
Yo, actually, his mum was pretty stressful, to be honest, but that's how I first felt about Sheldon. Do you know what I mean? If I'm being totally honest, right? Sheldon, he's a grower. Like, he actually is. Like, he's a person that, like, you watch, you think, oh, that guy's annoying. Honestly, he really is. And then the more you see him, you're like, oh, do you know what? He's actually not that bad. All right, I actually understand this person. Do you know what? He's pretty funny, actually. Like, he's decent. I like Sheldon. I really do. But at first, he was a bit of a stress. He actually was. And, like, today, this episode, you know, even though she is pretty much the female version of him, because she's new and it's different, she was a stress again. She was. I felt like she was pecking me head in certain situations, but then in other situations I liked it because I knew that I was watching Sheldon 2.0, and like straight away, mate, when she was first introduced, I think it was downstairs at the elevator when she first met Penny, I was like, mate, she should be Sheldon's mum. You know, like, I felt like they was exactly the same, and they was 2 peas in a pod, the way they talk, the similarities, what they laugh at, what they're interested in, and, you know, she's totally polar opposite to Leonard, and honestly, right, unless you're somebody similar to her, like Sheldon was, like, if she was your mum, that would be solid, wouldn't it? Imagine having an upbringing like that. First of all, always analysing and everything, like, do you know what I mean? First of all, she's done a scan on Sheldon, now she's trying to get a scan on Penny. She's also tried to, you know, do a therapy kind of session as she's going up and down the stairs and getting her in an emotional state. It'd be so hard to have that as a mother, but she was good in today's episode. She actually was. She analysed Raj and, you know, Howard, and technically they are like a little couple. Do you know why? Because they're always stuck together. Like, when one appears, the other one does. You never actually see the other without the second one there. It's always like when someone enters an apartment, they're both there. You never really see Howard at the apartment without Raj. You know what I mean? Or Raj vice versa. So it's a pretty good analysis of it. And I like how they was talking like there was a little bit of married couple in front of Sheldon as well. So, I don't know. I feel like she felt like she was Sheldon's mum, but it was good seeing him match his weirdness, if you could say that, with somebody else, like whether it's a guy or a girl or Leonard's mum, you know what I mean? Like, it was good to see. I did enjoy it. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I cannot believe that Leonard absolutely choked in that situation with Penny. Like, what is he playing at? Why is he overthinking it? Why is he talking out loud? And I mean, even just saying, oh my God, I can't believe we're about to do this. Like, that just kills the vibe on its own. You know what I mean? And he continued talking and he's ruined it. And how many times are we going to get so close but yet so far away between these two? Is it ever going to happen? That's what I'm thinking. Is it going to be a consistent tease and story throughout the show? And it'd be interesting to see if Howard, Sheldon, Raj get into relationships before him. Because obviously, again though, with them, they kind of stress me out as well in certain situations, because I'm always thinking, like, why has that happened? This and that, are they going to get together? Are they not? What's going on? You know what I mean? And she even said earlier on, I think when she was having a discussion with Sheldon a couple of episodes back, that she never actually had sex with Leonard. And like I said today, it looked like the deal was going to be signed. And he started talking about his mum. He was saying that she was technically about her dad, because obviously she had dad troubles. And mate, it was just all weird. And he probably did deserve to get kicked out, didn't he? And I don't know how many times of will we get, but obviously they do produce some good scenes, to be honest. I liked to seeing that he was there and he was drinking and, you know, kissing. And that was pretty decent. And then obviously them in bed and him ruining it a little bit. It just feels like that's classic Leonard as well, if I'm being honest. You've got Sheldon who does his all, like, mate, you've got all of them that kind of do the things and you're like, that's classic them. So like Raj out speaking, Howard with his hitting, Leonard with his consistent failing and like his awkwardness in certain situations, and Sheldon obviously being who he is, trying to outsmart everybody and being a little bit strange, but that fits in perfectly, you know. So it's interesting to see everybody, and always consistent as well. I'd love to see him break the mold. Like I said, I'd love to see how we'd get a date, or how and what's his name now, Raj speak to females just out of the blue, not drunk. You know what I mean? It would be really good to see. Also, I liked at the start when he was doing Rock Band and he was all in there together as a team. That's how it should be done. You know what I mean? Group. That's where the fun is. One on the guitar, one on the drums, one singing. Mate, I would have loved to do that. I've never actually done it in a group. That would have been sick. But I enjoyed today's episode. It was decent. Thanks for checking it out. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.